Hey, my name is Dan. I used to work at the biggest dealership in the country, and now I teach fine folks like you how not to get fucked when buying a car. Now in this video, I want to share with you that is super freaking important. Crash testing versus safety ratings on the car. We're going to talk about 4 different things. I'm going to be looking at some notes because I can't memorize all this stuff. And I don't want this video to be just me talking, just me being a fucking talking head on YouTube and pulling shit out of my ass. I don't want to be doing that. So I'm going to be taking a look at some notes. Okay, so number 1, we're going to talk about crash safety ratings, what the fuck that is. Number 2, we're going to talk about collision avoidance systems. We're going to talk about passive collision avoidance systems and active collision avoidance systems. These 4 things determine vehicle safety rating, okay? So vehicle safety rating is consistent of these 4 things. Let me go over them again so you understand. Vehicle safety rating is not just a crash safety, not just vehicle crashing into things. It's 4 different things that are combined into vehicle safety rating, okay? 5-star, 3-star, 4-star. By the way, let's talk about stars. There's only 2 options when it comes to rating vehicle. 5 stars or anything else. If it's not 5 stars, that's it. It doesn't matter. They fucked up somewhere, somehow. Now, how are these 5 stars determined? This 5-star crash safety rating is going to be determined, number 1, by crash safety, by actual crash tests. Okay, that's number 1. So, how well does the vehicle does in actual impact, front, side, rollover, rear? How are the airbags? How's the structure of the car built? Is it going to be able to withstand, or is it going to crumple like a fucking piece of paper? Like you see cars in South America, China, Russia, Africa. Pretty much all third world countries, they have shit cars. The design is so bad, the car literally crumples like piece of paper. Even brand new cars in 2020. I mean, I did a video on Nissan in Africa. They don't give a shit about Africans so much. The vehicle got like 0 stars or 1 star. I don't remember what it was. Jeep Wrangler got 1 star because they just don't give a shit about consumer. Who gives a shit if you die? As long as they sell you a car, right? Why put money into extra development of a better vehicle? Why? Who gives a fuck, you know? Okay, number 2, collision avoidance systems. Okay, so we have the physical crashing of the car. How well does it do in a crash? And second part is, how well does it protect you as a driver from even getting into a crash, right? We don't want you kid to get into a crash in the first place. We have technology that was available for decades. I mean, in the 90s. That shit was available in the 90s. But car manufacturers don't give a fuck about you so much, or they give so little fucks. I can rephrase it any way you want. It's still going to be the same fucking thing. They give so little fucks about you that in 2020, this is not implemented on every single vehicle when it could have been implemented in the 90s. They use lasers, which are hella old. They use radars, which are, I mean, radar technology is coming up to 100 years. This shit was available in the 90s, early 90s. Mercedes had it. Cars in Japan, Toyota in Japan had it, but who are you? Who gives a shit? You're just a bag of fucking meat and bones, you know? We'll have your kids that are gonna buy cars. We'll have plenty of customers, 7 billion people. If you die, somebody else is gonna buy a car. Who gives a shit? Us, car manufacturers, spending $300 extra so you don't break your neck? Yeah, I don't think so. All right, enough with the sarcasm. So we're going to talk about collision avoidance system. We're going to talk about 8 different things that I think if you don't have on your car, these 8 different things, you are foolish to be buying a new car. If you're buying a new car and you don't have these 8 things that I'm going to go over in just a few seconds, you're an idiot. And I am being nice. Guys, I know there's a lot of subscribers that really like my channel, and it may sound that I'm trying to be a dick. It may sound like I'm calling you an idiot. But I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but for real, if you're buying a brand new car and it doesn't have the 8 things that I'm going to talk about literally in like 30 seconds, you fucked up big time, okay? And the next one is going to be active collision avoidance systems. So passive is going to be a warning. You're about to get into a car accident, the car is going to warn you, hey, you're about to get into a car accident. Active, which is doing, the car will actually stop and prevent you from getting into a car accident. Okay, now let's talk about the 8 things that you absolutely have to have if you want most safety on your vehicle. Personally, I would never buy a brand new car without these things. If you have a kid, I would never buy a car without these things. I am not even fucking kidding you. Okay, let's go number 1. ESC, electronic stability control. The car will avoid sliding and skidding out of control, especially on icy and wet roads. So you're driving, right? You're driving. Somebody jumps out in front of you, a deer, a bicyclist, a car pulls over, or a car slows down suddenly. And especially if you're driving a big SUV, which a lot of people are driving top-heavy vehicles, minivans and SUVs, top-heavy. It doesn't have to be a giant fucking Suburban. CRVs just as fine, you know, it's still top-heavy. If you're driving a top-heavy vehicle, you absolutely have to have it, and it's standard after 2012. It was available in the 90s, but in 2012, they finally implemented it by law. So the first one is every single car is going to have it, okay? Now, these are optional, so you have to get them yourself. You got to opt in for that stuff. Number 1, ACC, automatic cruise control. The car will follow the vehicle ahead, brake automatically when necessary. That's it. That's a very simple definition. So I know how these technologies work, and I can give you a fucking hour lecture, but you're not looking for that. If you want, do your own research. There's plenty of videos, plenty of engineering papers on that stuff. ACC, automatic cruise control. The car will follow the car in front. Your car will follow the car in front, and it will speed up and brake automatically. Cool, very simple definitions. I make things simple and easy to understand. Next one, rear cross traffic warning. The car will warn you about an object behind your car. So imagine you're in a parking lot at Walmart. You're pulling out and there's a car behind your fucking car that rolled in. There was a kid, there was a bicycle, there was a dog that you just ran over. Congratulations, you murderer. I'm just kidding, but not really. You do have a backup camera. You do have the backup camera, but unfortunately the backup camera doesn't give you wide enough angle. Make sense? So these sensors will tell you on the side of the car what's going on, because when you're pulling out, you can't really see. You're hoping nobody is there. You know, you're backing up slowly. So these warnings is a passive collision avoidance system. It's a passive one. Okay, it's just gonna beep. It's not gonna stop the car. There are options where the car will be stopped. Some manufacturers have it, some don't. Depends how little or how much fucks they give about you being alive. Next one, lane departure warning. The car will warn you that you're about to leave the lane without using your blinker. So you're driving, you're texting, I know you're fucking texting, and you're leaving the lane. So the car will beep, beep, vibrate the steering wheel, or it's gonna vibrate your seat. It's gonna warn you in some kind of a way that the car is about to leave the lane. Be careful, you might side swipe somebody, okay? Next one, lane keep assist. The car will steer back into the lane if you leave your lane without a blinker. Make sense? So you're texting, the car is about to leave the lane, it's warning you. You're still not doing anything about it. So what the car will do with lane keep assist, it will actually steer you back into the lane and it's gonna keep you in the lane. Make sense? These two features, they come paired. You can't have one without another, but you can have them turned off and blah, blah, blah. But they come as a package, okay? Next one, forward collision warning. The car will warn you that you're about to crash into something ahead of you. So you're driving, you're texting, I know you're fucking texting. That's what this shit is for. It's made for people who are texting. And guys, I do it all the fucking time. I'm not gonna pretend I don't even do it. I am on my phone all the fucking time while I'm driving. This is passive warning. It's just gonna warn you. Beep, beep, beep. It's gonna vibrate your seat or vibrate your steering wheel. You're about to get into a collision ahead of you. That's it. It's just passive. It's warning you. Now, the next one is automatic emergency braking. The car will automatically brake to prevent you from crashing into something that's ahead of you. Again, these two things are paired. So forward collision warning and the actual braking, the prevention of you getting into the accident. Those two, again, they come paired. It's two things that come as a package of one. You can't get one without the other, but you can turn them off and blah, 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 all that stuff. This technology has been around since God knows 80s. It has been implemented in the 90s, so that means the technology has been since the 80s. Not every single car manufacturer has this. It is extremely cheap, very, 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 very cheap to implement every single one of these safety features, passive or active, into a car. It virtually costs nothing. It costs nothing. And if you're buying a new car without this stuff, you're doing yourself a big, big, big disservice. Huge. When I buy a new car, if it doesn't have this stuff, I'm not buying it. That's it. You can install some of these features yourself if you want, but to be honest with you, the manufacturers are going to be a little better, and they're already installed. And they are not, you know, the difference between you install and them install, it's not going to be that much expensive. Here's one thing you need to be careful of. I'm going to talk to you about one thing that you need to be careful of after I go over the last one. So the last one is going to be blind spot warning. So the blind spot warning is that little light on your mirror whenever you're driving and you want to merge into a different lane, and there's a car here, you're going to merge, you're going to fuck shit up. You're going to side swipe him, you're going to get into a car accident. So what that radar does, it lights up a little light and it warns you, hey, there's a car there, probably shouldn't do that. Here's why this is absolute garbage. I hate this thing. Why? Because the light is so fucking tiny. I could give you an example how tiny it is, and it does involve Harvey Weinstein, but I'm not gonna. Listen, it's really fucking tiny. First, the LED light is very small. It's outside of the fucking car. It's bullshit. Whoever came up with this idea, it needs to get spanking. Maybe an interview with the Harvey Weinstein should be as a punishment. Oh God, I love punching up. It feels so goddamn good. So we talked about all this stuff that I think you need to have, except the last one. The blind spot warning, you have it, you don't have it, who gives a shit? Even if you have it, the light is going to be so tiny you won't even see it. Because the sun is shining on the mirror. How bright is your mirror with the sun shining on it? Pretty damn bright. And the LED is literally this big. It's big as your nail. A LED big as your nail, 3 feet away from you in daytime. What the fuck? You know, whoever invented it is a complete fucking idiot. Or the idea is good, implementation horrible. Okay, here's one thing that you need to absolutely learn and research before you buy a new car that has all this stuff. How well does it actually work? Not all collision prevention systems work the same. They're not all the same. They don't all work the same. Some are better, some don't work at all. And you need to do research. A lot of fucking research. Does it work or it doesn't work? You can actually test some of this at the dealership. Literally, put a salesman in front of the car, and if the car stops, it works. I am not joking, actually. I am literally not joking. You don't have to put a salesman. Bring a suitcase. If you're serious about this, bring a fucking suitcase. Those big traveling suitcases on wheels, right? Put it in front of the car. Hey, Mr. Salesman, if the car stops, I'll buy it. If it doesn't, you're getting yourself a new bumper and you're getting me a new suitcase. How's that for a test? I like that. Hey, if somebody's gonna be claiming something, I will fucking test the shit out of it. So be careful when you're buying new cars with these features. Make sure they work, because a lot of car manufacturers claim they have it, but it's really shit. They have it, but it's this big, okay? It's this big. I mean, it's there, but it's this big. It's not really, you can't do anything with the fucking acorn, you know what I mean? Oh God, this has been a fun video. Now, I want to do a conclusion. We're going to talk about crash and safety ratings. The safety ratings are made up of 4 ingredients. The crash of the vehicle, collision avoidance systems, which are divided in 2 parts. Passive collision, which are just warnings, and active collision avoidance systems. Got it? So make sure that the car that you're buying, number 1, has all the stuff if you're buying a new car. Or if you're buying used, also look into this. And number 2, make sure it fucking works. I'm not gonna name any brands. I really want to. BMW, Nissan. That don't do shit, okay? You gotta really look into them. They have it, but it doesn't fucking work. My name is Dan. motherfucking strong. I'm signing out, and I'll see you in the next video. Huge thank you for watching this video. Click here to subscribe, watch one of those 2 videos, and click the share button below the video. Did you enjoy the video? Did you find it useful? Do you think you're gonna save some money with it? Abso-fucking-lutely you will. Share this video on Facebook with somebody else. This is Dan Strong with 60 Minute Car. I'm signing out, and I'll see you in another video.